sure isn't as easy as it looks. If you hit them, they fly out. You gotta just sit here and go over them again and again and again and again. Now, most American Indians, Native Americans, they say had teeth worn down because they did this in natural stone with natural stones, where pieces of stone would get in here. So when they were chewing on their patties, they were chewing on a little piece of stone too, which would wear their teeth down. This one's totally smooth. This one's really smooth and very hard, so I'm not going to have that problem. But this is going to take a long time. And this is about 1 pound, pound and a half. I have 21 more pounds after this to go. Well, actually, minus the shells, I probably have about another 8 to 10 pounds to go after this. Hat just like this, topped off with acorns. After processing, comes out to this much. That's about 2 pounds. Okay, this is the 21.5 pounds of acorns after shelling. I leached them for a day and a half. I did a boiling process. I'll write it all down. And then I tasted them. They're not really bitter anymore. And while they were still wet, I went ahead and used a chop on a blender and chopped them up pretty fine. I'm going to try sun drying them this way. I've never seen anybody do them this way, but hey, trial and error, right? There's another. Last time I had 1 cookie sheet out of the 2.5 pounds. This time I have 1 cookie sheet, 2 cookie sheets, and a Tyvek, a large Tyvek. And this is my scare rat. Try to keep the birds away. That doesn't look good. I think that's a search and rescue. Going into the canyon I'm going into. I'm up here. That's that Raptor Rock is right around the corner, that one I saw last time.
Raptor
and
Rock?
Ran into these guys up here. Your names are?
Henry. Will.
Jake.
You guys got YouTube channels?
No.
No.
Just follow yours.
I do, but
they recognize me from my channel.
Actually, I recognize you from the hat. I was like, hey, that's that guy.
I was up here, right? And I'm telling them, they asked me what I was bringing for food, and I told them I barely brought any food, but I brought my fishing kit. He goes, right on, I brought my fishing kit too.
Hold on. Damn!
Like mine, think together. Got some hooks, a split shot. I've got some floats, bobbers, flies, a couple spinners, a couple jigs. Anyway, they're camping right over here. Yeah, you got a high-tech tent, right?
Yeah.
That's high-tech? Yeah.
I just have a tarp.
Okay, they asked me about the acorns that I got, so I got this so they can try it.
Yeah.
Try it.
He wasn't kidding. Hard as a rock.
These are from the first batch I got, guys.
Very nutty, no more acidic to it. Hard, but good.
Yeah, when you soak them, the brown water that comes off, it says if you save that and put it aside, and then you can freeze it in ice, that'll cure poison oak. Or if you drink it, it'll, or put it on rashes or something. I don't know. There are plenty of things that you can do with it. How people found that out, I don't know. I see a dog up here that looks very familiar. Hey, Larry.
What's up, Barrow?
There he is.
How was the trail?
All right. It's West Coast Larry right there. There's a fire. Perhaps something went wrong this trip. Perhaps something is going to go wrong, and I'm not meant to take it. I forgot my fuel for my stove. I had it set. I don't know how I forgot it, but I'll show you my. There's glow in the dark. That's the SL3. Tyvek plasma. It's my extra clothes wrapped up in a large bandana. My pillow. Got my pack, my food, my stove with no fuel. I'm gonna have to do it the old way. Flute, tripod, camera. That's it, guys. That's all I brought with me. Besides this in my pocket, fishing kit. Oh, there's a little bit of stuff inside that pack. I'll show you that tomorrow. There's a bow drill back there that Sepp Waldenwerk from Germany sent me. And this is where I'll sleep. The river's right down there. Got this to sit down, this to eat off of, this to cook with. Extra wood, and no fuel. I have some meals and no fuel. Okay, check this out. No, I didn't catch that here. I brought it in. It's rainbow trout cooking on a rock, heating up some corn. And it's 20 to 8. A lot of frozen lemonade. That's how I kept the trout good. Frozen trout and a frozen lemonade right next to it. Carried it in. Okay, let me sit down here. Okay. Recently, I've been looking for work really hard. I've been looking for work every day. Nowadays, everything's over the internet. I've been shooting resumes all over Southern California for months and months and months. I've had a handful of interviews. Well, one of the most recent ones, most promising ones, was at an aerospace in Huntington Beach. I go in. She really liked my resume. I go in. I take the math test, pass the test. She gives me a different test and she says, you know what, you did really good on that one. I think you know what you're doing. I'm just going to go ahead and have the supervisor come in and interview. So he comes in and he looks at me and he goes, have I interviewed before? And I said, no. He goes, you've never worked here before? I said, no. He goes, you look really familiar. I said, yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe I worked right down the street for 12 years. You might have saw me at a local gas station, AM, PM or something. He goes, oh yeah, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, as we get to talking, he goes, I see you've been unemployed for almost a year. I said, a little over a year, actually. He goes, what have you been doing in that time? I said, besides looking for work, a whole lot of backpacking and hiking and fishing. He goes, wait a minute, you're Pharaoh. He goes, you're that dude from YouTube. He goes, dude, me and my girlfriend have watched your videos from the beginning. So I'm thinking, yeah, I'm going to get the job. He goes, you know what, I'm going to stop the interview right here. He goes, you're qualified. We can't give you as much as you're asking, but you're qualified. He goes, but this is all just, I have to do all this. But we pretty much have the guy picked out. He's already worked in our company for a few years, and he's been loaned to the department we want to, so he knows the job. So if my boss will allow it, they're going to let him transfer over. But if you want his job, you're welcome to take his job. We'll get in contact with you in a few weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. And so they did contact me, but in the meantime, I scored a job at an aerospace less than 2 miles from where I live. So needless to say, no freeways, no beach boulevard, nothing. I'm taking that one. The pay is about the same, but it's government contracts, and I start Wednesday, so I scored, guys. But that's funny, man. You're Pharaoh. Okay, there's that. Look at that. I'm going to pull that off there. Pull these off. This is corn with red and green peppers. Hot, 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 hot. This is a cool spot. I'm going to bring my daughter here. Many of my friends have camped here. Larry's camped here. Robert's camped. West Coast Larry. Robert Ferguson's camped here. Steve and his daughter Steven, Running Gun 41, aka Bruce Willis, and his wife and his daughter have camped here. This is where I met them. So many people have camped right here. It's a great campsite. Bruce Willis and his wife built that little table, found that log and rolled it over here. This little bench. I was hoping to see them today, but word in the canyon is he was in here during that rainstorm. He left a couple days ago. He got his job. He got a new job too. So I'm like the Huggy Bear from Starsky and Hutch. I'm the Huggy Bear of the East Fork. Instead of word on the street, word in the canyon. Steven got a new job. The Huggy Bear of the East Fork. Hey, Detective Hutchinson, word in the canyon. Steven got a new job. aka Bruce Willis. Okay guys, it's probably like around 9, I don't know. I didn't get much sleep last night. I was out at Lake Elsinore. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to get some sleep tonight. I got my water, my lemonade, my flute, everything else, my watch. Underneath my feet, put my jacket up there, thermarest short, and the plasma 15. My bag leaning up. Oh yeah, I didn't bring the pole either. I used my trekking poles. I'll show you this, and I have a video on this, but I'll show you how it's done. I made one of these for a guy in Hawaii. This is a piece of harness. I'll show you how it is in the morning. My trekking poles replace the pole, cut down on weight and space. And this tent is just soaked with water. I don't think it rained last night. I just think it's heavy dew. Anyway, I got a visitor out front, outside. I can hear it walking around. I think it's either deer or sheep. So if I get up, I'm gonna start a small fire, get myself some coffee going. Okay, got a small fire going. That's the can I got the corn out of. Just heating some water up for some coffee. Go walk. Just wedged it in between that fork. There it goes. Look at that. We have safe water. We have coffee. Houston, there's not a problem. Okay, I transferred the water over from this one to this one. The reason I didn't cook in this one in the fire, this one's made for a stove. This one's got the rubber handles, titanium with rubber handles. So you really can't get there near fire. I got a little bit too close to an Esbit fire one time, burned the lower half. Heated it up in that can, put it in here. Okay, for those of you who use pole shelters, for instance tarps or the SL3, here's how I did this. You get these two Velcros. These things are great to carry anyway for strapping things to your pack. It's something you find along the way, a cool piece of wood, you can make something. If your tent gets wet, like my SL3 is wet, you can strap it on the back, dry it while you walk. Just don't leave anything hanging that's going to catch on something like this and you rip a big hole in it. Now, this is the strap for climbing. It's a tubular strap. I just cut off, I believe that's 17 inches. I'm not sure. If any of you are interested, read in the details. I'll measure it when I get home if I remember. If I don't, ask me. Anyway, you go to REI, you buy this by the foot, and you buy it. They cut this with a hot knife. All you gotta do is take a lighter and burn the edges so it doesn't fray. You stick it onto you want the 3/4. Stick it onto here, you bend it over. And you bring it down, and you stick this on the other one and bend it over. So it's like that. So it's total pressure. It'll stop with the 3/4. It'll stop right at the threads, and then you just Velcro it here, Velcro it there. You're good to go. It's pretty neat not having to carry the pole with me, or having to worry about finding a place to tie it up, or having to find a branch the right size. So whenever I take the SL3, this always goes with me. Fits in my pocket, jacket pocket, or anywhere. I use these neoprene glass, safety glass cases. You get them at like Harbor Freight or something where you buy safety glasses. Get a good pair of safety glasses for work. You can get this. You never use this at work, so a couple bucks. Neoprene, put breakable stuff in there. Put your lighter, your phone, whatever you want to put in there. a little bit of protection, and drop in the river, it'll actually float for a while. If it's light, it'll float continuously. It's neoprene, like wetsuit. Get your phone or something. You might want to put that in a Ziploc baggie before you put it in this. Okay guys, what I'm planning on doing is I'm all cleaned up here. Fire's been doused twice. There's no fuel left in it. Carrying my can out, my coffee cup, and I'm gonna go home, return with a different setup. The SL3 just got you wet. Maybe just bring a bivvy. I'll come in, I'll pack lighter, I'll do another quick overnighter, and I'll try to get to my destination where I was going with fuel this time. I just don't want to start any fires back here. So I have about a 4-mile walk back to the trailhead, 4.5-mile walk, and about a half-mile walk back to my car. About an 1.5-hour drive home. Repack and full reversal. At the end of last year, I brought some reeds up here from down by Cattle Canyon Bridge, Coldwater Canyon, and I stuck them in the ground. They're starting to take. So if I come back in, if I remember, I'll grab some of those Rita roots and I'll try cooking them. I think they're still there. I think I can still see his blue tarp. Probably not even awake yet. I woke up about 5. Here's our camp. They're still asleep. Oh, they may be sleeping a while. I think that's Alpine. Yeah, that's it. Outdoor Research Alpine Bivvy.
Hey, Pharaoh.
I forgot my fuel, man. Alpine Outdoor Research Alpine Bivvy. How was it?
It's really warm, man. It's pretty nice. You know, kept most of the moisture out, so it's all nice. It's
Not a lot of condensation.
very little. If you cover up all up, then you should be all right.
It's great, man.
Yeah.
Okay, hey, nice meeting you guys.
That's when you do too, Pharaoh.
Alright, I'll see you. Yeah, those guys are back over there still sleeping. It's about 7:30, I'd guess. See somebody walking over there. Other than that, I'm the only one around. Now, I'll be out here in a few hours. Go home and get a few things done. Rearrange my pack. I might even change my pack. Different pack. But I will have a different sleep system. We're switching into winter now. Really wet. And I'll be back this afternoon. Whole new adventure. There they are off in the distance over there. It's Outdoor Research Bivvy. That's a high-tech tent, and that's just a camouflage tarp.